Good morning, everyone. It's 7 a.m. and I just gave up sleep because who needs that? For those of you that are new to my channel, hi. I'm sorry that you might have seen a video before this of me crying. It's actually really awkward because today I met a cute guy at the bank and I told him, yeah, I'm Sky Williams, you know, like I do this YouTube shit, and I just remembered that my latest video is just me crying. Just gave him my email. He's not gonna email me. There's no way. To catch you up if you need it, I had a video on PewDiePie. It got flagged and removed. My channel received a strike. The strike limited a lot of my features, including monetization for 3 months, sponsored content, and live streaming, and a bunch of other smaller things. My previous video, the one right before this one, titled YouTube Strikes My Channel and I Can't Strike Back. It's just an emotional video where I explain what happened. And then on the 13th of October, YouTube responded. They tweeted at me with 4 sentences that they had that they screen capped. And I'll put it up here and I'll read it for you. It says, "We sincerely apologize. The strike was flat out the wrong decision and opposite to our values as a platform. It's been reversed and we're taking steps to make sure this doesn't happen again. Your voice is core to who we are and we're truly sorry for the painful experience." First, I'd like to genuinely thank each of you. I've never experienced so many people, like, you know that people care, and you know that there's a group of people that care about you and want you to be okay. And a lot of the times in the past when I'd be dramatic about something, I would get over it. But this hit me hard. And I'm still hit. And the words that I've read, the things that I've seen, people that I thought would never reach out to me, reached out. And that really impacted me. It gave me like a second life. So it goes without saying, thank you. I wish that I didn't have to do this, and I wish that I wish that we could just skip to the fun stuff. But right now, YouTube did something I thought they would never do. They apologized and redacted a decision. That means they're listening. So while I have their attention here, let's make some change. Let's make this work. My goal of this video is to try to express the biggest problems on this platform, YouTube, for its creators. Back to the tweet. So a lot of you found that tweet to be very nice, and a lot of you were saying, you know, this is good, like YouTube is taking a step. Many of you were saying, oh, it's about time, and everyone unanimously they're wagging their fingers, but they're like, oh, okay, well then, you know, YouTube's doing some good. But I actually think that tweet was something that hurt me more than anything else they did, and I will explain. I believe that YouTube's flaw isn't just like the implicit bias they show, the mass demonetization, the algorithm that doesn't really favor quality content, the oversaturation of like mainstream media, or even low-key just like straight up manipulating the trending tab, and in my case, deliberately lying to a creator about their content. And many of you probably checking off boxes like, yeah, that's what pissed me off. Oh, okay. Well, I think that happens because YouTube's biggest problem are the blanks that it leaves in its actions. YouTube will take action, be it demonetize a channel, shut down a channel, take off a video, strike a channel. They'll do all of these things and they leave the reasoning blank. And that right there in its simplest form is the biggest problem. Because we're creators, we're creative. It's right there in the name, YouTube creators. There's 2 ways that people see the world. You know, left brain, right brain, you know, like math, creativity. I genuinely think the reason why this is because not very many people in upper administration in YouTube actually really indulge in making the content or making content in general. They don't really have to do that because they have jobs established for them. Here's how I see it. In life, there are people that are very, very logical. They don't really, you know, everyone has emotions, but they're just, you know, logic, and that's what gives them comfort. And then there are artists who find comfort in, instead of seeking a truth, we're gonna create what makes us happy. And it's a subjective happy. You don't have to agree with it, but it's something that we do. As a mathematician, you're taught that there is a toolbox and a finite number of solutions for the problems that are in front of you. And it's these toolboxes that you use from elementary school to high school to college to solve the problems given to you by your math teacher. When you learn how to divide, when you learn how to add, subtract, multiply, you learn the quadratic formula, all of these things are tools for you. And that's why a lot of people like math. Because math, for the most part, like the basics of math, if there's a finite answer, you see something on the board and you know there is an answer for that you can box, no matter how bullshit some of it is. It's that kind of mind that built a lot of things that go on in YouTube that it's overlooked, because I mean, it's just not a hellhole. It's definitely not ideal right now, but it's not the worst. And it's those minds that have created the platform in and of itself with the idea of harboring creators. And I can't speak for my peers on YouTube, but I am an artist. That's just what I see. I don't know. I'm just an artist. I hate logic. I need classes on logic. I will literally get mad at someone for the dumbest shit. I used to have a best friend. He's straight, but he's literally the greatest thing. I just love everything about him. And if he even browses over a female's profile, suddenly we're fighting. I am the worst. I am not defending myself. Anyway, when an artist sees a blank canvas, what we want to do is we want to create something that makes sense, something that makes us happy. And like I said earlier, it's not about it being objectively good or bad or right or wrong. It's what makes us feel. And that is what a creator is, and that is what we use this space for. We create things from our hearts and minds in order to try to find someone out there that connects with us enough to like your content and sit there and watch. Because someone's attention, especially in 2017, is just crazy valuable. And it's a heartfelt experience. And when we fill each canvas, we make something that makes sense to us. And we put so much of our heart into it that we have no choice but to believe it, for better or for worse. Okay, so what does that have to do with YouTube? That's a fair question, Ashley. I know there's one Ashley like, ah! Women don't watch my content. So here's an example. When my video was flagged, I asked myself, I was like, well, YouTube flagged my video because blank. Now I took the math approach. I took the information that they gave me and I tried to plug it in, but everywhere I plugged it in, it didn't make sense. It said that I was promoting hate speech, like, you know, promoting racism, and I was being divisive, and all of these things the video clearly was not. So when I plugged them in, that just didn't work. But that's all the information I was given. So my toolbox is now run out. And as a creative, I can't leave it blank. I need to find some sort of answer to give me peace, because that's what I do on this platform now. That's what we all do on this platform. We take nothing and we make something. So after thinking about it, I was like, well, are they homophobic? Well, probably not. You know, they got Tyler Oakley and Shane Dawson, iDubbbz. Gay community is thriving on YouTube, and it just wouldn't make sense. Those gay creators are everywhere. And from what I've seen, they're doing great. Rice Scum, Keemstar's back on top. So I erased that. It's not a possibility. So I thought maybe it's because I said the N-word, even if it was censored, right? Maybe they were just being very specific with that, but that wouldn't make sense because my report was about spreading hate speech, but I censored it. But at the same time, my peers, and I put it in quotes because I hold nothing to them with their brand, and they're massive, they've gotten away with a lot more. And I wouldn't even call it getting away with it, because we can debate about whether or not it's right or wrong. I'm just trying to figure out why my video got flagged. So it wouldn't make sense for my video to get flagged if theirs is still up. So I kept looking. Is YouTube racist? Well, I don't know. I tried plugging in like racist, but I mean, Donkey's doing great. And he's setting an extremely high standard for black creators. So it's just KSI, he's black. That's two. It's a lot of them. So now I'm like, their videos got flagged and you didn't because stop. Scene. I've been mulling that over for the past 3 days. That blank. What was the story behind it? Who was the person that reviewed my video, said that I was race baiting, and then dropped it, only to have YouTube apologize a few days later? Who was that? Why did they do it? Did they not like me personally? Was it actually a mistake? Did I only get my way because I cried about it? Why that video? Would anything have happened if I didn't make a fucking scene about it? I can never answer those blanks. In those 3 days, every theory I had was just inconclusive. It didn't make sense. Those blanks that you left, that you had the answer to, or you could have at least submitted some theories prior, but I was left in the dark with no answers and no way to really gauge what was going to happen. I had to guess, and my mind had to race. So I sat here for 3 days. I won't lie to you, I've never been that scared or stressed in my life. I thought that everything was ending. I thought that I wasn't welcome on this platform. As is evidenced by the video before, I don't handle things like that well. Anyway, YouTube's disciplinary actions shouldn't be a puzzle. It shouldn't be a riddle. I shouldn't feel like I'm solving something for an escape room. When all these people are confused, that's when you know that something is wrong. We shouldn't have to guess why punishment happens, and rectifying a mistake should not only come when a scene is presented. The reason why your apology in a tweet bothered me is because I don't deserve it. I'm low on the donor list. I'm like the understudy. I'm like the understudy's understudy. I'm like the cousin that appears 2 times in a season. I'm like a $30 lottery ticket that wins you $5. Like, that's me. Shut up! And I am not fishing for compliments. I'm just being extremely truthful. Shut up. Creators that have done more for your platform, and even more for me than my own damn self, still feel unheard. And the treatment that you've given me, they deserve tenfold. By y'all doing this to me, as sweet as it looked, now we're both targets. Here's some more blanks for you. Why hasn't there been an adequate response for Phil's tweet? And Miss Susan Wojcicki, Your Grace, like, I mean this in the most respectful way possible. But bitch, you trying to get us both killed? Like, what the fuck? Casey attempted to make a video in support of the Las Vegas victims, and it was instantly demonetized. The YouTube team responded by saying, well, ads aren't allowed on tragedies no matter the intent. But then we got that clean Jimmy Kimmel receipt, that clean contradiction receipt that I got from Hypocrite Topic. Here's some more blanks for you. If we have to follow the rules, why is Jimmy Kimmel immune? That don't make no sense. He on TV, you already got it. You don't need help. You don't need no help. Jimmy don't need ad revenue. You really think Jimmy posting about his like AdSense like, oh, my CPM's down today? No, he's set for the rest of his life. Jimmy is already on TV. If Jimmy want to make a YouTube channel, then Jimmy can make it and go through the trials and tribulations of being completely disappointed when you find out that you'll never be bigger than a fake prank channel, and then you drink till your life is over. I mean, that's what we all doing. Why is it that some of your most prestigious creators feel like they don't have a voice? That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not gonna tell you how to run your platform, but I will say there are some people on this platform that have inspired me to be here. So if you were sincere in your apology, where you say that my voice is core to who YouTube is, well, let me be the first to say that part of my voice came from Phil DeFranco. Have you ever been filled in? Do you remember Sexy Phil? Sexy Phil.
Ooh, hey, hit that phone.
Sexy.
Yeah, hey.
Phil was there when I was way too old for that, you know, Nick News show with Linda Ellerby, but I didn't want to watch the scary people on Fox, but Phil was there. Phil was there to make me feel like news, so I could walk in with confidence after I just got filled in. Do you have any idea how many Niga Higa jokes I just blatantly stole growing up and used them at school and got a lot of laughs? A lot is how much. And I used to think Francis was real, and he would rage and break things. Don't even get me started on Smosh. These people pioneered the way that people like me saw the potential in your website. And I can go on and on about everybody that inspired me, but I'm trying to be the inspiration now because there are a bunch of people around me, bigger and smaller, and we are all here for the same thing. And that leads me to my next blank. How can we help every single channel? There is so much talent on your platform. It never gets old. I've been doing this. I've been making videos for 5 years, okay? Some people got 1 million subscribers in 3 months, and everyone's like, oh man, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, no, fuck you. I don't understand why I can't be jealous, because I am. But what never gets old is watching content. It's just watching people work. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And it just doesn't feel right to reward me for crying when there's a whole bunch of other people that maybe don't have as big of a voice, or just because they might be way emotionally stronger than me, then they just miss out on the opportunity to have their mistake rectified. It feels weird. It doesn't feel good. That's also why I don't entirely just hate or blame YouTube just baselessly. It's really hard sometimes to remember that when we're looking at the amount of people that look at a video, that like or dislike or subscribe or unsub or tweet or retweet, beyond sex bots, these are real people. These are genuine, real people that clicked that button, and they have their own lives, dreams, and flurry of problems. And when we stop seeing them as actual people and we start seeing them as a collection of numbers, it's very easy to get wrapped up in what is going to give you the biggest number. But I encourage you, YouTube, I understand that the way that you think is like a mathematician. I get that. I'm not saying that none of you are creative. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying the business side of YouTube is not going to work with the creative side, but I do believe there is a middle ground. It just feels like all of these things are just happening to us, and there's no rhyme or reason, and it's so random and sporadic, and you know, YouTube decides who they're gonna talk to and who they don't, and it's, I don't know. The people on your platform right now are the people that are pioneering a career for people 100 years from now that wanna use this method of media to live. Anyone that had fire to start a YouTube channel has thought the same thing that I have, I believe, which is what I see on television or even currently on YouTube is something that I either A, don't like, or B, something I want to be a part of. The platform of YouTube is filled with people that took a risk on the internet. I'm 27, and I can guarantee that many people just around my age, we all feel the same way. We were all told that the internet is not lucrative, but we took a chance because we did not like what we saw in mainstream media, and we wanted to make it ourselves. And that's why we're here, and that's why this platform is so special. So much actual, genuine, crazy talent just exists. Bill Wirtz is just a robot. I don't even think he's real at this point. And we have to be that strong as a community, which is why it hurts. It hurts so bad when you favor the mainstream media. Look, I know Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's probably a great guy. To me, he's a dude in a suit that's rich on TV. There's a reason why I don't pay for cable. There's a reason why I don't watch TV, because all of the entertainment I've had from a child to now has always been online, and that is the path that I've chosen, and I want to make sure that it's something viable and not laughed at. The quotes around internet famous will always be there for anyone that tries to pursue a route this way. People are always gonna laugh and infantilize what we do, but at the very least, we should try to make it so that the people that are treating us like shit aren't the platform themselves, because then that's just the worst. You need to not punish other YouTubers. Don't look at my case and change your mind because I made a scene and cried. I don't want to be a platform for YouTube to virtue signal so then they can be like, look, I helped this minority. No, that is not me. You got me up if you think that's me. You must be talking to Casper. There must be a ghost behind me. I know that's not me. If you're gonna look at my case and you're gonna apologize and you genuinely feel that something went wrong, do not let me be the exception. Let me be the rule. Let this be the rule. Let this be when we start making these rules for the public. You've asked me what you can do to make this better. I just want transparency. I just want some clarity. Life is already hard, unpredictable, and scary, and then we die. We might as well help each other live comfortably with no anxiety if we all just communicate. Because as much as I love making content, there is a dialogue that is not discussed because it sounds like we're being brats when we talk about this, but I will tell it to you. As much as I really do love doing what I do, this job can be and is often excruciating. We have to audition for our job every single week. And if we fall off, if we sell out, if we're inconsistent, if we fuck up, we're cut. That's it. People will leave you right behind and go straight to the next thing if you deserve it. Because while all of us are great, we're also extremely replaceable. There will always be somebody out there that's better than you in almost every way. The difference is that you have this opportunity. Don't waste it, because they wouldn't waste it. If they were in your spot, if they took your spot, they would not waste it, not even for a second. And a lot of people need to walk on eggshells, especially now. The political and social climate of life is crazy right now. It's just so different. You gotta watch your back and your front, because the second that you fall off or the second that you slow down, it's kind of like a zombie movie. If you moving slow, people will consume you for social traction. They don't care at all. They see you as already dead. They're gonna not even a second look. They will shoot you and kill you and then move on and then think of you as some tragedy later. It is rough out here. Some people are evil as shit. And you better look straight ahead and don't text while you drive, because Officer Ian is out there literally garbage canning all of these people that he deems as trash for fairly decent reasons. We have our own cop, like... Okay, quick aside, I think I'd rather go to real jail than have Ian content cop me. But that's why I'm not afraid, because one of the biggest benefits to having kind of a stagnant channel is that Ian ain't give a shit about me. Yes. Come to think of it, YouTube, I don't know, like, you might be the next content cop, because I don't know, some of the things you've been doing recently kind of shifty. Y'all just straight directly lied about why you flagged my video, demonetized it, took money away from my entire channel for a clean week, and you brought it all back, you swept it under the rug, and then you give me 4 sentences? Okay. You're right, I won't be nasty. We are a community of people. We're not just a collective sum of what we create for you. We're individuals. Like you, we've got friends and family and lives to genuinely try to live to the fullest. We're not videos, we're not stats. You can't just leave us for an indeterminate amount of time and then come back to check to see how things are. That's not fair. That's not okay. We are not your product. We are not a commodity. We aren't just one view. We're not just one subscriber or one like or one dislike. We are humans just like you. We are people, and we should be treated as such. In the span of 13 days, my viewpoint on life, my career, my longevity on this goddamn earth, the future of my content, the future of my comedy, my even immediate decisions have just been altered, probably forever. When my appeal was denied, it dawned on me that I don't have a plan B. I don't have a plan B. I've wanted to be an entertainer ever since I was 7 years old. There's videos, I have home videos of me saying things like, well, when I get famous, this. And when I get famous one day, I will be able to look back on 7-year-old me and say, all that arrogance paid off. Good shit. I've never dealt with this. I don't really know what to think. A lot of this is new. I'm just being honest about how I feel. It feels like you've coddled me because I cried. You enabled my behavior by reversing the punishment, which I guess didn't really have a place in the first place, but you did these actions, and no matter what your intentions were, whether it was pure or malicious, you've made me different. Your actions have forever made me different. You have used me as a tool to either A, show everybody that you guys aren't the bad guys, or B, a tool for whatever revenge plot the person that flagged my video was. But no matter how you slice it, I can't leave this without feeling just so guilty for the people out there that work harder, that do better for their audience, that do better for their fans and make better content than me, that you're just ignoring and you're not talking to them. And because you've left all these things blank, the only thing that I can do is sit here and blame myself for things that I can't control. And that's why people are out there getting their entire channels and careers ruined, yet I'm fine. I don't like that. It makes me feel awful. I hate it. I hate it. And that's your impact. But listen, you don't have to double down on this. Listen very carefully. I'm a bitch. I'm going to be sad no matter what. Only thing that will ever make me happy is my channel being successful. Then you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. I'm under a lot of stress because I was stopped when I was trying to pick things up in my channel. But right now, you have an opportunity to make all of this right. Don't double down and give me anything else. In fact, I suggest you block me on Twitter. Instead, at least open up a dialogue with your massive creator so they can help you see what needs to be done. Please. Finally, look, I don't suddenly hate YouTube, but I do feel very destroyed. I feel like there's this like continue screen with like a timer. And normally I just press pause, right? And I just go straight to just try again. But this time I'm just like watching the numbers count down. And I know that my decision must be made, but I've anticipated this day for a while, and this feeling is new, but I don't know. It was a really, really, really hard choice, but my decision's already been finalized about me and the future of my channel and my comedy and, you know, being around here. So it's time. I'm gonna... The drama, the suspense. No, I'm emotionally devastated, but I will keep trying.